Are things always perfect in the kitchen, or do mishaps happen every now and again?
Well, of course mishaps happen a lot. It's funny you ask this because actually we're having a guest over, my very good friend Charlotte. One time she came over and I was cooking and I made this really glamorous food and just things, it just didn't seem to be my day. Everything seemed to go wrong, and luckily Charlotte was there because she's quite a good cook herself, and she actually helped a lot in the kitchen. She saved my butt basically. Since we're doing an old American dinner, I thought, what's the best thing to throw for a starter? And the first thing that came on my mind is tortillas and salsa. And I make a really good salsa, so I was told. So this is what we're going to be doing. I already prepared the tortillas. What we're going to do is just, I bought a bag from the supermarket. It's already quite fresh. It's nice. It tastes really good. Just missing the salsa. But what I do usually is right before I serve it, I sprinkle it just with a little bit of water and I stick it in the microwave for 30 seconds.
What does that do?
It makes it really fresh. It comes out and it's hot and it feels like it just came out of the oven. So it makes it really tasty. But now what we're going to do is we're going to start preparing our salsa. So I need some ingredients. I will use red pepper, lemon, some tomatoes, and some parsley, a bit of basil. Alright, so here's the basil. Whoa, that smells really good. It's already coming out the smell. Alright, so that's for starters. And we'll also need shallot. Some garlic. I think I have yep. And okay, salsa usually has to be hot. So what we do, it depends on how hot you want it. But for my recipe, I'll just use one red chili pepper and one green chili pepper. That should be enough to bring it up. Right, so what we're going to do first, I don't need all of this basil, I'll just choose a nice line. That's nice.
Just a few pieces?
Yeah, because basil is very strong and we don't want to overpower the salsa with the taste of basil. So I'll just use this much. Put this in the fridge. Alright. What we need though is a lot of parsley. Parsley is good. But first of all, and here's the trick of giving yourself a little bit of barbecue taste. What we're going to do is take this red pepper, and if you have anything like this, it will really help you. And we'll put it there. Put the red pepper on the stove. And don't want to overburn it. Just want to give it a little bit of color so we can get rid of the
outside.
Skin. Yeah, the outer skin. You're gonna see in a bit, once it's done, whenever you just roll your finger over the skin just peels off.
Okay.
So gives it a very kind of grilled taste and makes the red pepper much softer.
Could you just put it on a grill?
Of course, it'll be even better. It'll get the scent of the coal in. So let's just put this on the side because I think our guest is here. We're having Charlotte over today.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
Hello.
We're ready started.
Ooh. So, chef, what are you doing?
Right now I'm preparing salsa. So what I'm doing is I'm just preparing the red pepper. So
searing it.
Yeah, it would have this nice, rich barbecue flavor to it.
I can start to smell it.
What we want is just to have like all the black parts on all the sides, so we don't want to completely burn it. Chili pepper, what makes it really hot is the seeds inside, so we don't want it to be really hot, especially that my wife usually doesn't really do well with spicy food. So we just cut it like this, and you can see the seeds over here. What we can do is just empty the seeds out. And you're really going to want to wash your hands afterwards, because if you come any close to your mouth with your hands or your eye, it's gonna burn, really burn.
So it's the seeds that are actually hot, not the outside?
The seeds are much hotter than the actual pepper, so it definitely adds to it. Now I'm just gonna clean the garlic cloves, and you can put as much garlic as you want, like it depends on your taste, but I'm just gonna stick with 4 cloves, which is a lot of garlic actually. It's pretty much, but this is salsa, and it's supposed to be garlicky. So by now the pepper should be done. Let's see. Don't try and touch it now because it's really hot. Just put it on the side, let it cool off. Meanwhile, we can start mixing up our ingredients. So, Charlotte, actually we were talking and Sunny wanted to know, last time you were here when you saved my ass in the kitchen, how did you actually do it? Because I can't really remember what we did in order to fix up the chicken and stuff.
An important thing to remember when roasting chickens is to make sure that your chickens have enough space to heat up, that you don't overload it and bear it with vegetables or water. If you have an oven that doesn't heat up too fast, try to cook your chicken in 2 different dishes. Last time we had a problem that there was too much water and too many big stuffed chickens in the pot. And we needed to cook the chickens and roast the vegetables at the same time. So I took the chickens out and I put them on a dry baking dish. And then we took the vegetables and roasted them on top of the oven instead of in the oven.
That's a good idea. You saved my ass. I already feel the onions.
So is that completely pureed, or is it still kind of chunky, or?
No, it's quite chunky at that point. So what you want to do is open this part, and we're going to add a little bit of olive oil while it's going to give it the thickness that we want.
About how much?
About a tablespoon worth of olive oil. Now to this. It's still really hot, but see, like you're just running over the skin. You're getting rid of the black parts. Whoa. I'm just getting rid of this part. See how soft it is? And we don't want the seeds. Ah, hot. Chunks. We're going to be throwing it in the food processor in a bit, so it doesn't really matter. Just helping the machine, because we don't really want to have the whole thing become all pureed.
So far we have 3 tomatoes, 1 pepper, 1 shallot, 4 cloves of garlic, and a whole bunch of parsley.
Yes, and we're gonna add a little bit of basil. And of course the quantity depends on how much salsa you want to make. So I'm just making like a medium bowl of salsa for like say 4 to 5 people. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon. And a lot of things people get confused about, especially here in Egypt, is the difference between lemon and lime. Lemon is actually the big lemon likey, and it's much sweeter. It's not as acidic as lime. While as lime is the normal lemoon that we get in the like in every Egyptian house. It's much more acidic. Like this, you can actually just drink it straight off without having this like bitterness kind of feeling to it. Try and avoid having any of the seeds go down, because if seeds go down, they'll create a very, very bitter taste. So just hold it like this. If you have a lemon squeezer, you can use it. I like to use my hands. Again. Bit of salt, just a pinch, and a little bit of pepper. Again, just a pinch. If you want to give this a bit of a junk food kind of taste, you can add a little bit of ketchup or barbecue sauce, but
We don't want to do that.
I don't actually like to do that. So right here, I'm just gonna add one more thing, which is Worcestershire sauce, and that will give it a little bit of more smokiness. Just not a lot, just a couple of drips, and then just mix it a little bit. It's very chunky, very nice. If you don't want it chunky, you can always use sieve, exactly. I was going to say silt. Anyway.
You don't want to use silt.
No, you don't want to use silt. So you can always use a sieve to just
Mash it through.
Mash it through. But actually, I like it a bit chunky. So let's try that out. Let's see. Okay. Nice juice.
It's interesting to see everybody's own take on salsa.
Cool. And if you just leave it lie there for a bit, it'll keep on, the whole sauce is going to keep on going down. So try this. Wait. And this is what I was saying earlier. If you want your nachos to be really, really fresh tasting, just sprinkle them with a little bit of water. Just a little bit of water. You don't want them to be soggy. And stick them in the microwave for 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Alright. Mmm. Very fresh tasting. And quite a good kick of garlic and chili. I like.
It hits in, and you can always add a little bit of
My man won't like you too much because I'm going to smell like garlic all night.
no, but you can always add a little bit of ketchup in here. Like, I'll show you also how it's going to taste.
I'm not too fond of ketchup. I don't think I own a bottle of ketchup in my house.
I'll just add the sauce in it if you don't like it as chunky as I do. And this usually appeals to more audience. I just like my stuff quite rich and not very junky. But if you just add a little bit of barbecue sauce and a little bit of ketchup. Come on. Alright. As you can see, this is much saltier.
I am ready with chip in hand.
There you go.
Well, I can understand why that would please to most people, but I think I definitely prefer the fresh and healthy version.
So, what we're doing actually right now is I'm just getting the potatoes ready. I'm just going to choose a couple of potatoes. I'll wash it very thoroughly. You don't want the black stuff right there when you're peeling it. You don't want it to get into the potato. So, just wash it. And you can, for this recipe, you can either leave the skin on or you can peel it. Sometimes I leave it on, it depends. But today I just decided to peel it, so I'm just going to peel it very quickly. So we have our potato. It's already a small sized potato, so I'm just going to put it into half. Already made some here. For this recipe also you can just throw this directly into the oven, and I'm going to try something new today. I'm going to deep fry it a little bit just to get the edges a little bit crispy, and then I'm going to put it in the oven. And I'm not going to fry it for that long, just like maximum 2 minutes or 1 minute even. Just I'll keep an eye on it, and once it starts getting all golden and crispy, I'm just going to pull it out and on to the oven. Also with the potatoes, we have some cherry tomatoes. I love cherry tomatoes. They're very sweet. A lot of times I just go and buy a bunch of them and just wash them, put them in a bowl, and just start popping them one by one. Please go ahead. It's really delicious. Very juicy. I pop them just like popcorn. So
And it's healthier.
very healthy.
You and me, we used to be together, every day together, always. I really feel I'm losing my best friend. I can't believe this could be.
Just got those yesterday. That's very fresh, very nice.
What is it?
It's rosemary. I'm just gonna add a little bit of rosemary. Just another one. This. There. Okay. And usually the leaves go in this direction. So you just pull it in the opposite direction, and the leaves are just gonna come straight up.
Alright.
Just-
Easy peasy.
yeah, it's quite easy. And we've had enough rosemary. This is going to, once you put this in the oven, the tomatoes are going to start getting all soft and the juices are going to go down. We're going to mix with the salt and the pepper, and then the rosemary is going to coat it with a very nice aroma, and it will make cherry tomatoes really delicious. So we'll keep this on the side right now. We're heating the oven. We want the oven to be quite hot when we put in the vegetables. So now we're going to prepare the ice cream. We're going to fry some ice cream. But in order to fry the ice cream has to be really frozen. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ice cream, and we're going to get a plate and an ice cream scoop.
You have to have an ice cream scoop?
Well, it's much easier to make a bowl out of the ice cream with the scoop. You can try with the spoon. Honestly, it's quite tricky. I don't know how to do it that well. But as you can see here, you just run the scoop over, and there you go, you have your bowl. And just press it a little bit, make it all round and nice.
So far, make sure you have an ice cream scooper and a peeler.
Yeah.
And you have your ice cream. And you quickly take this and you put it in the freezer because you want it to be really frozen. And that's just step one. You can just leave it here for now. And you can leave it in the freezer for like 30 minutes to an hour, just for it to get really hard and frozen before we start doing anything more to it. Okay, let's check the oil.
It looks as though you're letting go, and
Switch this off. Alright. And then we're going to repeat the process. Just 2 pieces of napkins and don't press too hard because you don't want the napkins to stick to the potatoes. You just want to help them dry a little bit. There we go. And then put them over here. You don't want to stack them on top of each other because then the heat is not going to be equally distributed on all pieces. Just put them next to each other. And again, a little bit of rosemary. You can just put 2 pieces, full pieces without relieving them. On the sides. And a little bit on top. Don't worry about it like being in chunks because after this comes out from the oven you're going to take them out anyway. So that should be enough. A little bit of black pepper. A little bit of salt. And if you want it to be much more full and flavored, you can add a couple of pieces of butter. Just 3 pieces here, but I'm just trying to go for healthy stuff today. So I'm not going to add any butter. We can also add a little bit of fresh oregano if you have any. I'm gonna put some because I just got this yesterday and it's really nice. Fresh
I didn't even know they had fresh oregano in Egypt.
Oh, try it. It's so
Oh, that's
nice.
beautiful.
So
Where did you get that from?
I got it from Gourmet.
Well, I know where I'm going next.
And I'm just gonna put a couple of lines over there. And by now the oven should be hot, so I'm just gonna put it straight into the oven. And also we'll put our tomatoes with it.
And how long are we putting both of them in for?
Honestly, look, it depends on your oven. I have a very shitty, bad oven, so I hate my oven. So what I do is every now and then I come and take a look at it. But what you want is for the potatoes to be golden. The tomatoes are not going to take that long. The tomatoes are going to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. And you're going to know, because once you open and you're going to look at the tomatoes, they're going to be sizzling and they're going to be really soft. At that point you want to get the tomatoes out. You don't want to leave the tomatoes until they become all soggy. So you're going to get the tomatoes out and you're going to leave the potatoes there for a while. The potatoes are going to take a little bit of more time to cook. But I would say between 15 to 20 minutes should be enough for a regular oven. Some ovens might take less, some ovens might take more. So right now I'm going to fix you a very nice cocktail, because this is sort of what I do. If you're going to come and have dinner with me, you have to have a very nice cocktail. So today I'm going to fix you a cosmopolitan, which goes with what we're doing, which is an all-American dinner, and cosmopolitan is actually a very famous American drink. So what we're going to do, I don't think it's originally American, but it's very famous in the States, so it goes with what we're doing. What we're going to do is just going to put some ice in the martini glass. That ought to chill it out. And we're going to put some more ice into our shaker. If you don't have a shaker, you can use 2 glasses, but be very careful because glass tends to chip. Anyway, so I'm just gonna shot of control, or if you don't have control, you can use triple sec. Control is sort of an orange-based liquor. It's or some people like to say liqueur, and it's very orangey. It's very fresh smelling. That's one. Very orangey. It's very nice. So we have a shot of here, and then we want to have 2 shots of cranberry juice. Cranberry juice is a bit hard to find here in Egypt, but you can always find it in Alpha Market or sometimes in Metro Market. Oh, that looks so good.
Uh-huh.
Ooh,
Wait.
cocktails in the afternoon.
You can always get a straw, a normal straw looking straw, completely normal, and just cut it by half. And
Make a mini straw.
exactly.
Ooh,
Snazzy.
bottoms up.
So right now we're gonna start seasoning the meats. I'm just gonna, so we have the potatoes, we have the tomatoes, the oven, and we're gonna make corn on the cob and some very nice steak. I went yesterday and I bought this nice fresh piece of cut steak. It's actually, if you want to get it, I got it from Metro. Meat by itself is really delicious. You don't need to make anything fancy for it or mix it. You can make some sauce on the side and just add it to it later on.
What kind of
But
sauce?
You can have mushroom sauce, you can have cheesy sauce, you can have black pepper sauce. Any kind of sauce actually would go perfectly with this meat. But I honestly love this piece of meat so much that I feel bad adding anything else to it.
I agree. A lot of places in Egypt, a lot of restaurants tend to drown their steaks in sauce, and it destroys the flavor of a good piece of meat.
What we need for the seasoning is a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, and olive oil.
Sugar?
Yes, sugar. A lot of people don't know that, but it adds a very nice punch.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to be that?
So we just added the sugar, we added the salt, we added the pepper, and what we're gonna do right now is add the olive oil. What I do is usually I just put a little bit of olive oil in a cup. Okay, let's get rid of this. That's more than enough, you don't need any more than that. And then with 2 fingers you just run it over the piece of meat. And this way you don't put too much oil. You can control the amount of oil that you're putting in, and you're spreading it all over the piece of oil equally, or on the piece of meat, sorry, equally. There you go.
What's the purpose of this?
This is so you don't have to add anything even to the frying pan afterwards. You just, piece of meat is ready, you heat up your frying pan, you throw it on the frying pan, and it's ready. And you repeat the whole process again. You just flip the pieces of meat. Oil. You can use normal oil, vegetable oil, but I like olive oil. It's just my flatmate, he was Lebanese, and he just got me used to using a lot of olive oil in everything instead of normal oil.
And it's healthier.
It's much healthier. Actually, if it was up to him, he would even deep fry in olive oil. Like, sometimes it's just crazy what he does. He adds olive oil to everything, and it kind of rubbed on to me, and I love olive oil, and I just add it to everything.
The world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you.
You can get fresh corn on top, or you can get the frozen type. What I did is I usually just get the frozen type. It's quite good.
Does it make a difference in taste, which one you get?
Some people say so. Honestly, I don't feel that much of a difference. If you're going to grill it, it's going to make a bit of difference. But if you're just going to boil it, I honestly don't really feel a difference. So I'm just adding my corn to a pot of water. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And that's it. I'm just going to put it on low fire. For it to take its time. We don't want the water to start boiling too fast and then the corn is not ready. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the crust for the ice cream, the fried ice cream. What we need for this is a little bit of just original dry cookies, not too sweet, no fillings in it, nothing, just normal cookies. I usually use digestive. It's really good also to make cheesecake. I use those for cheesecake. And so I'm going to use a little bit of that. Open this. I'm just going to put it in the food processor. Just a bunch of them. That should be enough. And a little bit of cornflakes. That will give a very nice crunchy feeling to it. Alright.
How many cornflakes?
Sorry?
I mean, like, how much should you put in?
Well, like a little bit, like
Handful?
a handful or 2 handfuls, depending on the quantity you're making. As you can see here, I just put like sort of 2 handfuls worth.
And whatever you don't use can be stored.
Exactly, you can always put it in a plastic bag and just throw it in the freezer and it'll be good. Make that up. And at that point you can also use a lot of spices. You can put cinnamon on it, you can put a little bit of vanilla on it, you can put anything on it, like, just to give it a little bit of flavor. Actually, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put a little bit of chocolate powder in. As you can see here, it's quite done right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of chocolate powder, since I'm using vanilla ice cream. If you're using chocolate, you can put a little bit of vanilla stalks instead. Not too much, just a little bit. And back to the processor.
And why are we making it so it's so powdery? Is
Sorry?
that because, is that so the ice cream is
Would
evenly
be completely
coated?
coated with it, exactly. If it's not that powdery, it's going to be chunky and some of it might fall when you're frying it, or it'll just, you know.
You don't want the ice cream to melt inside the...
Exactly. So we have our coat. Go. Ooh. This is exactly the same way you do the base for the cheesecake. By now, the ice cream balls which we put in the freezer earlier should be ready. I've already prepared some earlier over here. They're quite hard now and they're sticking to the pan, you know.
Not now. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something.
Because we don't want it to melt, we just want to make sure it's completely hard when we finally fry it. It's still not done. The next step is just going to be giving it another coat. And your ice cream balls are going to be ready.
You can see you can taste the crunch of the cornflakes.
It's really nice, huh?
It's very nice. Got good crunch. I'm looking forward to this.
So we almost got this out. So I'm just gonna get rid of the core. We don't really need the core. And let this lie there for a bit. I'm just gonna add some vinegar to it to make sure it's clean. The vinegar acts as a disinfectant.
Sterilizer?
Yeah, sterilizer. I'm just gonna mix it a bit. And I'm just gonna leave it there to clean up while we start making our dressing, the Caesar dressing. For this I'm gonna be using a blender, and I'm gonna be throwing all my ingredients inside. What we're gonna start with is a tablespoon of nice Dijon. You want to use the smooth Dijon, not the one with the seeds in it. Although I really like the one with the seeds, but if you use the one with the seeds, it's just gonna make the dressing. I'm just gonna show you the dressing. So you just want a tablespoon worth. So just put 2 teaspoons. So I got a can of anchovies here. My wife hates anchovies. Whenever I make Caesar salad, I make it with anchovies, but she just hates.
I feel the same way.
Looking at them. I'm just gonna drain this from the oil. I love anchovies, and you don't really feel them in the dressing because I'm just gonna cut them a little bit. There, add them all in cubes, and I'm just gonna add them into the blender. They're very salty, so be very careful with the amount of salt that you add to your dressing. You don't want to put a lot of salt afterwards. And we're gonna put a couple of cloves of garlic. Just a couple will be enough. You can put more if you like more garlicky feel to your sauce, or less if you don't like garlic that much. And just cut it off. There you go. Put those really small. I'm not fine chopping them, I'm just helping the blender to do its job. Alright, so we have our garlic in. Then we add a little bit of black pepper. And we'll need a lemon for that.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I'm one of those melodramatic fools, talented to the bone, no doubt about it.
Not too much, because we're still gonna add the ingredients. So, whoa. Now we're gonna add a spoonful of mayonnaise. Tablespoon, or maybe even 2 tablespoons, depends on how thick you want the dressing to be. I'm just gonna put the rest of the there. Should be enough. We added the mayonnaise, now we're just going to add a little bit of vinegar. 2 tablespoons of vinegar, not more than that. And we're going to start mixing it. And while it's being mixed, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. I want to add the olive oil while it's being mixed to make it thicker. A little bit more. Add it slowly. That's 2 tablespoons of olive oil worth of 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, let's try it and see if needs a little bit more. Oh, look at that. Let's see. Gotta try that. And that's how you make Caesar dressing. It's quite easy. It's very delicious, very healthy. So let's go back to the lettuce. Now the lettuce has still the vinegar in it. You just need to rinse the vinegar. We don't want more vinegar into the salad that we're making. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna get my salad bowl and I'm gonna rinse every piece. This is a nice size for the salad. I don't like it to be bigger because then it's very funky, and I don't like it to be very small because then when it's small it becomes very soggy. Yeah. So let's go for that size. Just rinse it first. If there's any bad parts like that, you just cut them off. And you can always cut it with your hands. It's very therapeutic actually. I enjoy doing that. There we go. Okay, at that point, the salad is quite chopped and nice and clean and ready. I'm just gonna get rid of any excess water. You don't want the excess water. That should be fine enough. Right, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge just for the lettuce to be very cold and nice. We're ready to make the croutons. A lot of people love croutons. I'm one of those people, to be honest. And yet a lot of people don't know how to make them. And it's very easy. A lot of people ask me, how do you make croutons? And I tell them, no, it's this, what I'm just about to show you. And they're surprised at how easy it is. But for me, it's easier to use the toast because it's already pre-cut. And for this, I'm going to be using some rich bake. That should be enough. You can always add more later if you want. And then we're going to use a big knife, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut it into stripes. And notice, just by cutting it, it starts sticking to each other because it's very milky, which is good because it's going to give some volume to your croutons. Some people like to get rid of the edges. I honestly don't really care. See, some of it starts sticking to each other, which gives a thickness to each crouton, which is good. I like that. So I think this is going to be enough. What I'm going to do right now is just get a serving plate for the oven, and I'm just going to open them, spread them on it. Just make sure they're not sticking to each other that much. Right. You can season it directly on the plate, or you can put them in a bowl, season it all together and mix it, and then put them on the plate. But what I want right now, I don't want it to be all soaked with the seasoning. I want the seasoning to be distributed unevenly. So what I'm going to do is just going to put some olive oil, okay. A little bit of black pepper, just a little bit, not much, and oregano, dry oregano. This oregano actually, my friend Sam got it for me from Lebanon. It's so nice. It's really like, if you smell it, it's quite rich, and it's very nice. It's Lebanese oregano. It's very hard to find good oregano here, dry oregano here in Egypt.
Sometimes I give myself the grace. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid?
You just leave it there up until it starts getting some color. You don't want it to burn completely, so you have to keep your eye on it. And then once it starts getting all golden, you get it out, and then you leave it, and it will be ready by itself.
I went to the street to analyze my dreams. She said it's like obsessed, that's bringing me down. fall. And when the winning got me bringing head down, yes. Sometimes I give myself a trip. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me.
We just want to put a little bit of pepper, special salt, and a piece of butter. Well, it's still hot, so the butter will melt onto it. There you go. And here is corn.
Yum, 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 yum.
And I think our croutons are ready. I'll just get bowl. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let it dry off because up till now it's still crunchy, but it's a bit soft. And we want to wait until it's completely crunchy. And the longer you leave it out, just by itself, it'll become more and more crunchy. So just leave it there until you're ready. Alright, so back to the ice cream. What we're going to do is we're going to prepare some egg coating. Just 2 eggs should be enough. There we go. And I'm going to whisk this quite good. You can use a whisk or a fork, doesn't matter. Just you want it to get the consistency nice and thick. Perfect. Alright, get the ice cream out. Look at that. Completely hard, nice. We're going to take them again. Cover them in egg. You gotta do this quite quick because you don't want the ice cream to melt. I'm just going to cover it completely. See, this time the second coat, I just got the ice cream completely coated. Same thing again. Last piece.
I've never heard of fried ice cream before.
Well, you're going to try it today, and it'd be really nice if you can like rate it and comment on it. Okay, and quickly again back to the freezer. You want to keep it hard when it comes to the boiling, frying it. Ice cream has to be really, really, really hard. You don't want it to melt and completely crumble. So we should leave this for about an hour to 2. The longer you leave it in the fridge, the harder it's going to be, the nicer it's going to be. Let's take a look at the vegetables. I got the tomatoes out, as you can see. It's quite hot, but it's really delicious. Just explodes in your mouth. It's really nice and it's full of flavor. It's well cooked. I'm just going to keep this for a bit. The potatoes are almost ready. They look really nice. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start frying the meat. We just need to get our frying pan, grilling pan, sorry, hot. You can use a normal pan, or you can use one of those new ones that have lines on it. You can see it has lines. I really like this pan because you're going to see actually now what I mean. When you grill stuff on it, it just creates those lines which are quite painless for grilled. Now this should be ready. A little bit more. There you go. So we just put the fire down a little bit to medium, and we start laying.
I've become frightened. I'm just a paranoid. Oh, I'm just
this is the fun part. Because you have the lines here, what you can see right now is, actually if you go a little bit like this, there are a little bit of lines on the piece of meat. So you leave it for a little bit more until it gets like nice and brown on the lines. At that point what you can do is just rotate it like just 90 degrees, so you can have the lines on the other side. 90 degrees.
So that it's a crisscross pattern.
Yep.
And if you're going to do it Maz's way, try not to burn your fingers.
There you go, and you leave it for another minute to 2 minutes, depending on how cooked you want it to be. You can already see that the meat is getting cooked from the side here. You can see the level of where it's reached.
Sometimes I give myself a drink.
For medium, this is a very good amount of time to leave them on fire. If you want them well done, you leave them for another minute on each side. But I think this is good enough for me. Just gonna get them out on the plate. You don't want to eat them right away. You want to let them breathe for a bit. Give them like a minute to a minute and a half.
To let all the juices settle.
Exactly, because you want all the juices inside to just settle in and find its way inside. That should be enough for a medium piece of meat. Look at that.
For rare.
A rare piece of meat. You have it like cooked from the top, cooked from the bottom, and in the middle it's quite red and nice and juicy. I'll have that. I'll like that.
Yes, because that's a little bit too raw for me. How about you, Sonny?
It actually tastes quite good.
See, it's quite crunchy on the edges, and from the inside it's going to be quite soft and nice.
Wow.
That's why we fried it. It looks so nice. At that point you can just get rid of the oregano. Never put the croutons before you put the dressing, because if you put the croutons and then put the dressing is going to be soaked by the croutons, and then they're going to be soggy and not nice. So always put the dressing first. What we're going to do is just give it a quick whisk. And there we go. You can also serve the dressing on the side, and each one can add the dressing as much as they want. But for the sake of showing up, I'm just adding this here, and then we can add the croutons. Add a little bit of parmesan. That's nice. You can also boil or grill some chicken and then cut it and also throw it on top, and it will be chicken Caesar salad. The nice thing about those is that when you actually use it like that, look at this, just gives you the nice stripes you want. That should be enough. So that's ready for now. Now we're just waiting for our oil to heat up. We need the oil to be really, really hot, because if it's semi-hot, it's not going to give us the crispiness we want, and it's going to take longer time. and then ice cream is gonna basically melt. So we want it to be sizzling hot. So once we put the ice cream, it gets done right away, and then it just like put the ice cream down and then pull it off. Yeah, so.
London calling to the faraway towns. Now war is declared and battle come down. London calling to the underworld. Come out of the cupboard, you boys and girls. London calling. Now don't look at
And you keep an eye on it from here, or if you're not using something like this, just pop the cap open or whatever. You want it to move it a little bit, so move around. That's enough. Look at that. Look. It's really melting. Whoa. Right. And just drop it in. And quickly, because you need to serve this right away, add a little bit of chocolate again. And a little bit of caramel. And it's ready to serve.